Hi guys, so today's session is going to be on the mean of an average table. Now this is a frequency table, sorry. Now this is not easy, okay? So therefore really important you look carefully. Okay, so I'm going to read it out loud, but by all means pause the video and read it yourself. Table below shows the number of siblings the pupils in a year 6 class had. Now, let's just look at this table first, because I think maybe it's new to a few of us. The number of siblings, so someone had no siblings, 1 sibling, 2 sibling, or 3 sibling, okay? Now, the frequency tells us how many people had this amount of siblings. So, 5 people had no siblings at all. 4 people in the class had 1 sibling. 7 people had 2 siblings, and 2 people in the class had 3 siblings. That's what that means. So let's look at part A. How many people were asked in the first place? Now the frequency tells us how many people were asked. Okay? So 5 people picked 0, so there's 5 people there. 4 people picked 1 sibling, so therefore 4 people there. So in total we've got 9 so far. 7 people picked 2 siblings, so therefore we've got 9 here plus 7, that's 16. Plus 2 more, 18. So therefore the total amount of people that were asked is 18, because we are adding up the frequency there, because that represents how many people were asked. Okay? Altogether, how many siblings are there? Right, at this point here, don't just add up this, because that doesn't tell us how many siblings there are in the whole class. Because 5 people had 0 siblings, and 4 people had 1, and 7 had 2 siblings, and 2 had 3, we have to work out how many siblings there were in total. Now to do that, we do this. Well, if 5 people had 0 siblings, then I'll do 0 times 5, which is 0. So far, I'm on 0 amount of siblings. 4 people had 1 sibling. So in total, 4 times 1 is 4. So far, we're on 4 siblings for the whole class. But 7 people had 2 siblings, which means that if I multiply them together, that meant there was 14 siblings there. And lastly, 2 people had 3 siblings, so therefore I would multiply that to get 6. So to get my total amount of siblings, I would do 4 plus 6, which is 10, plus 14, which is 24. 24. And therefore that would be how many siblings there were. There's 24 siblings, because I had to use the knowledge I had here in order to work out how many siblings there were in total. So that's the answer to part B. Now part C said, what is the mean number of siblings? Now you know that the word mean from yesterday's lesson, and also maybe from before, is the total divided by the number of whatever that there are. Now in this case, the total number of siblings is 24. But you're not going to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, anything like that. You need to divide by the amount of pupils that were asked. So the total number of siblings, excuse me, is 24. And the number of pupils that were asked was 18. So you 24 divided by 18. And if I use my calculator here, it gets me to 1.33333. So that means on average, what we said here is that each pupil has 1.333 siblings. Now we don't round it up, we just keep it like that, 1.333. So that would be our final answer here. Okay? I know it seems silly because you can't have 0.333 of a sibling, of a person, but in this case, that's the answer they're after. So to find the mean, we found the total number of siblings that there were. We then divided that by the total amount of students that were asked in the first place, and that's how we got it. So I've got one more example here for you guys. So the table shows how many sweets students in year 11 class had in their pockets. Find the mean. So this is straight away, find the mean. Okay? So number of sweets. So 10 kids had 0 sweets. 12 students had 1 sweet. 5 students had 2 sweets. 2 students had 3 sweets. And 1 student here had 4 sweets. So to find out the mean, we know it's going to be the total divided by the number of, in this case, students. So total number of sweets divided by the total number of students. So firstly, let's find the total number of students. Well, that's represented by this. So 10 plus 12 is 22, plus 5 is 27, plus 2 is 29, plus 1 is 30. So therefore, 30 students were asked. So that part there, it's going to be divided by 30. Now, the difficult part is to work out the amount of sweets, the total number of sweets. So 10 people had 0 sweets. So therefore, in total so far, that counts to 0 sweets. 12 people had 1 sweet. So altogether, 12 times 1, there's 12 sweets so far. 5 people had 2 sweets. So 5 times 2, so that's 10 sweets there. 2 people had 3 sweets. So that is 6 sweets there. And 1 person had 4 sweets. So that's 4 sweets there. So the total would be 12 plus 10 is 22. Plus 6, which is 28, plus 4, which is 32. So therefore, that is a total number of sweets. So it'd be 32 divided by 30. Again, this will not be a nice number, but that's okay. 32 divided by 30 is 1.0666 recurring. And therefore, the mean number of sweets that each year 11 student had is 1.06666. And you keep your answer like that. Okay? So it's not easy, guys, but best of luck. And rewatch the video if you need to see how I'm dealing with this. Okay?